Hey, welcome back, all my sippers. Let's sip on some spiritual tea because reflection is a ritual. Today's brew is lavender and chamomile tea to calm our nervous system and give us emotional protection and clarity, because this conversation is heavy for our minds, our hearts, and our lineage. Lavender plus chamomile holds space for peace without surrender. So let it ground you, let it open you, and let's begin. So I listened to a live on TikTok with a British Nigerian woman saying that Olandria wasn't emotionally affected by being called the N-word. The same Olandria, the same woman who literally cried over her face being placed on George Floyd's body. What a crock of bullshit she was saying. But anyway, listening to her say that, it dawned on me about what Jocelyn Hernandez said. You remember when Jocelyn Hernandez, if I'm loving hip hop, I think Atlanta or whatever. I can't even remember because it's been a while since I even ventured off into those types of reality shows. But anyway, Jocelyn Hernandez said to the white passing bald woman, you know that woman that used to date Kanye West? And he said he had to take several showers or something to get the stench of her off of him. Something like that. Well, anyway, Jocelyn Hernandez said to her, you know what your problem is? You want to be white. And that's what came to mind after hearing that British Nigerian coonette. We'll use coonette to describe the female version of the coon. So what she said about our dear Olandria was so mind-boggling. And Black people really suffer from Stockholm Syndrome, a coping mechanism that leads them down the path of self-hatred. But I digress. Because on the same live, there was another Black British woman pushing back on her nonsense. So it ain't all non-American Blacks talking and thinking-ish. You know, just talking out their ass. It ain't everybody. And unfortunately, all these diaspora debates are dumb. People weaponizing borders and accents as if Mr. Oppression himself checks passports. Then we hear about a popular creator asking, why hasn't Olandria's fan base addressed xenophobia towards Shelly? Excuse me, ma'am. At this moment in time, we are talking about a racist verbal attack that affects all Black folks, okay? So, ma'am, are you okay? No, for real, are you okay? Like, can we please stay on the topic of Olandria being called the N-word? Ma'am, asking Olandria to address xenophobia after being called the N-word is like asking someone to bandage your paper cut while they're still bleeding from a gunshot. So asking Olandria to address xenophobia as if justice is a cue, as if we gotta schedule dignity, I say no, not now. She got called the N-word, so maybe next month, or maybe next year if you're lucky. Let's be very clear. Racist cops, vigilantes, MAGA mobs, Karens, They don't stop and ask, are you Haitian? Are you Nigerian? Are you British? They see Black first. They see Black before nationality. They see Black before religion. They see Black before gender. They see Black before who you love. They see Black before anything else. So to all those Black folks caping for oppression, the ones auditioning for acceptance, from people who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire, wake up. Dividing the diaspora weakens us. Anti-Blackness doesn't discriminate. So why should our defense? So let's get back on topic in regards to this N-word business with Huda. Huda coulda, shoulda been addressed her anti-Black racist fans when they attacked Shelly and Olandria. And especially when they placed Olandria's face on monkey pics and George Floyd's body. So hear me out, and hear me out loudly. This ain't a whisper. This ain't a polite opinion for delicate ears and fragile egos. This is truth with its shoes off, ready to stomp the yard. So about Huda laughing like a hyena, don't dare tell us to move on, because we are not done. We say memory is our armor. We don't heal on command, like obedient choir voices in somebody else's church. We carry a legacy carved in bone, written in auction ledgers and police reports, echoing in chokeholds and hashtags. The N-word is a word built as a noose, flung like a stone, then brushed off with a giggle and a PR apology that came only when the brand deals crumbled like sand. Don't call that a crucifixion. Call it consequences. The incident is not isolated. For the ones who know, we know she laughed at that slur, and that laugh wasn't just a laugh. It was history uncloaked, cruelty caught in real time, and the world saying, are we really still here? The slur dropped like venom. The laugh caught like sparks on dry brush. And suddenly we're debating whether it's that deep. It has always been that deep. Blood deep, auction block deep, chain rattle deep, hands up don't shoot deep, I can't breathe deep. Yes, she laughed. Not because she didn't hear, but because the reflex was casual, comfortable, unchallenged. And when the brands dropped her ass, then came the tears, then came, no, I'm misunderstood, the PR coach repentance. Don't call that a crucifixion. Call it consequences. Again, don't call that a crucifixion. She ain't Jesus. Call it consequences of your adult actions. And for those defending her, Lord, the brain cells are not selling. The neurons are on silent mode. The education is buffering like cheap Wi-Fi. History skipped that crowd like a Netflix intro. If your first instinct is to protect the person laughing and not the person wounded, you ain't neutral. You're complicit. Ignorance is a luxury that the oppressed never get to afford. And this is what happens when a nation tries to delete Black history like a bad tweet. When school boards ban curriculum to sanitize our pain because truth bruises their comfort. Erase Black history and you fertilize ignorance. You water hatred. You lay fresh bricks on the road back to Jim Crow that nobody asked for, but somebody planned. Don't get it twisted. We are one curriculum change and a shrug away from repeating chapters this country swore it closed. And here's the proof. Let's look at this a white woman on TikTok in blackface for Halloween smirking like the joke was on us. Because when you erase pain, people start wearing it like a costume. And listen to this. We don't tell Jewish communities to forget the Holocaust. We say never again. We don't tell Native Americans to move on from genocide and stolen land. And we don't forget Japanese Americans locked in camps by their own government. And this nation apologized, acknowledged racial hysteria and prejudice, and paid reparations through the Civil Rights Act of 1988. Accountability with ink on paper, with dollars attached to the apology. So don't tell Black people justice is impossible when history already showed its face. The template for reparations does exist because history already proved it. And they never want to talk about reparations, do they? Anyway, and when Kanye West got loud and hateful toward Jewish people and Chase closed his accounts, Black folks didn't circle wagons. We didn't defend hate. We said wrong is wrong. We don't protect bigotry, even when it looks like us. So don't expect us to excuse racism when it's aimed at us. And so no, that's a big ass hell no when they tell us to get over it. So Black folks don't get over it. We don't swallow trauma like communion and smile after. We remember because forgetting is surrender, and surrender never lived in our bloodline. Forget and the system reloads. Forget and racism rebrands. Forget and the cycle returns wearing new shoes. Let me put it another way. Anti-Blackness regenerates. Racism shapeshifts. Silence becomes soil and hatred grows back fast. And memory is not bitterness. It's protection, it's defiance, it's survival. So we are cooking Huda for as long as accountability demands it. Because justice doesn't move unless we apply heat. We are cooking Huda because our ancestors never got microphones and they carried the wounds in silence. So we speak the truth with volume. We are cooking Huda because silence is violence's favorite roommate. So if you want peace, tell the truth. Demand accountability. Don't rush the wounded to forgive while the wound still bleeds. You call it anger, we call it love. Love for truth, love for lineage, love for survival. We don't forgive on your watch. We don't heal on your schedule. We don't forget for your comfort. We remember, we resist, we refuse amnesia. And we speak until the world stops pretending it can't hear us. This ain't anger. This is love dressed like fire. This is history demanding breath. This is legacy refusing burial. We are not finished. We are not quiet. And we are not moving on. So thanks for attending the Sip More Tea sermon. And until next time, bye.
African-American rappers sing N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't.
So say it.
Say what?
Say the word you want to say.
I'm not saying that I want to say it, I'm just saying that I can't.
Sure you can. Say it. Say it right now. I will say it with you.
Okay, this is hypocritical.
Another satisfying racial moment.
This is America.